Yeah, that's the only thing about that that pisses me off is that that counts as a splat, honestly. Well, I guess that and the character was already one. So the actual death itself is just like, oh, whatever. Silly things like that happen sometimes. Alright, so I guess we're gonna go crossbows. Again, I don't like ranged characters. I don't do them a lot. But we'll see. I might even switch out of... Okay, so is the stream all good? I'm gonna take a quick look because this got all fixed around. Yeah, that looks good. So yeah, messing around with passage and not using simpler things like the fan would have been smart. Pulling down a pan lord is maybe also kind of dubious, just because you kind of don't know what it's going to do. That's sort of what the orb run is kind of trying to do, is throw you all outside of your comfort zone. So it kind of throws purposefully imbalanced monsters at you, and you're just supposed to run. So you really should be focusing on running. And it's one of those kind of laziness things where, like, you know you can kill the stupid monster anyway, and it's just sort of easier, so that's what you do. Hello, Elect Dagger. I will take you, my friend. Yeah. Should be pretty fun. Oh man, it's cursed. God damn. Wanted to put on the scale. Oh hey, we even found bolts. That's pretty cool. Yeah, I just wanted a start that was slightly different than... A blowgun is already pretty different, but... ultimately not going to be really much different. Probably should have kept with that, to be perfectly fair, but this gives me the option of, like, maybe I could do ranged if I really wanted to do that. Axes, and I could go Usk again. What are we? We've got a lot of strength, that's pretty cool. Oh, I've got breath, I need to use it. Funny is when I was what did I do? Oh yeah, when I moved on to that, I was half expecting to die. I was like, watch me just die from like another blast. But at that point, quaffing heal was probably the only thing I could really do. One of those situations where I wish I had more holy word scrolls, because those are nice for the stun. Another good thing is just to keep spamming more heals since you have it. I got it to the point where I was like, close enough to 100, we should be good, but can't really... A spell with undodgeable and only partially resistible damage does kind of mean that you have to be more careful, unfortunately. Basically treat it like Hellfire, more or less. Probably even worse since the average damage is pretty high. Oh god, the worms on this level. Noxious bastards. So far not using a lot of crossbow bolts. How much do I want to... Oh yeah? You have any trouble? Yeah, so I think I basically don't need to train crossbows. I guess I'm training axes is what I'm doing. I'm not going to turn this guy into a stabber, I know that much. Oh, come on now. Getting more lag. Oh yeah, Katoble is not actually placed by that vault, so you just got kinda unlucky. Yeah, it only places things that can move in water. Which, that can move unimpeded in water. So yeah, I did not put a Katoble. There is, however, dire elephants, since those are giant. And those have got some kills in that vault. Oh no. Not a ghost. Well, we have yeah, random spawn. Those are on in the spawn table. Nice, good para wand. Use right there. These things are pretty squishy, but I know their damage is going to be pretty significant. So let's see. I did take Dex. Wow, we got to level 6 awful fast, didn't we? Also, Nightbot, what's going on here? Oh, that's right. This one has some dead air at the end of it. I feel like I've heard this one. Let's skip. I think I know which one this is. And I've heard it like already this stream. Or recently. Plus it's a Final Fantasy remix and those usually strike out. Alright, so let's see. Do I want to Dex this guy? It's kind of hard to get a lot of EV. I was able to get pretty much some of 60 using two-handed. And it was decent. On the other hand, Maybe we'll go into heavier armor sooner, this one. Siggy. We'll definitely get this guy to a god. Fedos, no thanks. Really strong god choice, of course, but not one of my favorites. I guess I stabbed Sigmund. I more paralyzed him and killed him with I think I start with some stealth, but not much, and I also have 0 short blade, so although it may have been a stab, it wasn't a very good one. Oh no, Fedos would be outstanding and is an outstanding god to get on D3, but I just don't want to play Fedos. That's the thing. Makhleb. Makhleb is a god I could play. Makhleb is pretty good, guys. Any stab you can walk away from. Yeah, it kind of sucks I have to play this character over again for something so stupid as that, but you know. Huh. Can't par this guy, can I? No. Ugh. Well, this might work. Looks like it's working. I love phantoms. There we go. Love them to death. But yeah, I might put this up to a poll. Yeah, F dot is really tedious to fork. I don't want to do that every single time. I'm too lazy. I'm just going to auto-explore to pick up the volts anyhow. I do use that situationally, of course, when it's actually really relevant, but using that for every time I fire is like, no thank you. No thanks. Oh good, and accuracy, just what we wanted, right? Wow. Double whammy. The double whammy. So that messed up my splat ratio, that's unfortunate. Oh wait. That totally messed it. Did it bring me above 10%? It did, 15%, that's unacceptable. I blame it being somewhat late and me being somewhat tired and distracted by Twitch. That's what I blame. It's probably the last time I will try to pull a Panlord down, though. Did that purely for convenience as I think about it, and it was like that way I won't have to deal with this. One, I could have fanned him away. And two, it's just like, you just don't know what those stupid things are gonna do. So you have to treat them with like, you're wearing special gloves. Oh, yeah, so gods, we're not doing Quaz. Mach is a pretty viable choice. Mach I like. I'd do Usk again, but I just did Usk. Sorry, Lasty, but Weirdo Panlord. Yeah, I probably did leave it on the ground. I left a god on the ground too. Really need to go. Actually, did it not? That's weird. Why didn't it pick it up? Or no, there was no cloak. Yeah, I have auto pickup for that. So might be a robe or something that you saw. But I think I will just go ahead and go Mach. I think. Mach doesn't really do anything that Usk wasn't already doing. Do I want to go Usk again? Well, a D3 at Mach is pretty good. So I think we'll just do that. Get this char 1 sooner rather than later. Uh-oh. Probably should have used more crossbow bolts there. Alright, we'll take it. Barely using these bolts, thanks to the select dagger. Oh, come on with this, really? Yeah, I mean, I use Poison Spit a lot. You'll see me use it. I'm not religious about it, and it's one of those things where it's just kind of a pain sometimes to remember to use it literally every time you should. So if you see me not using it, that's probably why. Definitely a big proponent of using it, but it's one of those things where breaths are kind of tedious to have to remember to use for fairly light damage. Ah, shit. I don't usually die from using underutilizing breath. That's usually something I'm pretty good at. But I'm not super careful with my characters in the early game, and that's just, again, because I may not care to be. Is this the one? I'm not going to wield that. At some point I'm going to need to switch to this... Skill 14. Wow, really? Takes all that way. Huh. I guess that makes sense. What I am probably underutilizing is the crossbow bolts. I should just walk around with those and switch to the dagger when I probably should also try to get into this. Okay, there we go. Chainmail RC is good. Purgy? I could, well, I wouldn't want TLA over chain, really. If I did, I'd probably Wand of Acid him to death. It wouldn't be too exciting. Ooh. Tully in a sewer. It can be fun sometimes. Since I've got a chainmail on, he's not going to be able to just like tear through me too easily. And I've also got just so many shots of... Hey, you got your wish. And it looks like I can just melee him down. Yeah, he can't do too much once you get some AC. I will keep his hide in honor of Purgy. Our man. Oh, and we got Makhleb, 1 star. That's good. Whoops. Oh well, that'll do. Early wands was very helpful. Any good axes? A war axe. Still probably worse than the Elec dagger though. Well, unnecessarily have to repeat Naga, all due to silly Panlord hijinks. I guess I was due for that. I know some people have never died with the orb. I feel like it's a thing that ends up happening to pretty much anybody, even people who have a good win rate will have something stupid. Mostly because of like weird damage spikes that'll happen sometimes. You just sort of have to watch out for that. Many characters I don't really mind repeating. This one, I guess I felt like I had played out the character, so that's kind of why I changed it up for Makhleb, because I don't really feel like just redoing the whole thing all over again. So this will only be somewhat different. But different enough, because I'm not going to have too much crazy chain damage. I'm just going to have heal on kill and demon summons. But demon summons will flavor things a little bit differently, mostly through the mid game. Later on, you kind of use them a little bit less. kind of can use them for some escape. They do cost HP, so you can't necessarily spam them super crazy if your aim is to escape something like on the orb run or whatever. So yeah, do learn a lesson about being careful with your characters once Panlords are involved, because they're just hard to predict. And if you see a fight with a Panlord careening in a bad direction, like if you start getting tormented, that's when you just really have to spend your turns getting away from the fight. That was a kind of a bad level to do a random teleport. So that was one of those things where like preemptively not pulling the Panlord down with me would have been a way to avoid that altogether. And then well, the mistaken passage of Galubria to the downstairs, probably just take the downstairs, like somebody mentioned. In that case would have been wise. Because you get to a situation where if you can't be safe at under 100 hit points, it becomes kind of untenable. You have to sit there and spam heal a lot, and it gets really stupid. Probably just spamming heal would have been the smartest move, though, because eventually he's not going to hit you with Glaciate, hopefully. But he did do 75 damage, so even if I had done heal, I would have been down to very few hit points, and it's like, at that point it's just kind of down to die rolls. So you don't want to get to that point. Let's see. Oh, good. So I will send you over to Fiesel, who's doing Final Fantasy 1 any percent, which is kind of related to this in an indirect way. So yeah, I hope you wanted to see more Naga, because you're going to see more Naga now. Slightly different Naga Wanderer than the last Naga Wanderer. I'm probably not going to go into ranged, because again, I just don't really like it. I like it using evocations and maybe spells, but I'm not a huge fan of it. This guy will use axes, so maybe we'll see. Well, he'll probably go two-handed axes. Might get heavier armor sooner. I think this guy has better strength. But yeah, thanks for tuning in, guys. Maybe I'll pick this one up sooner than like 5 or 6 days. I waited because I was just going to finish this character off, and now we gotta do another one. So maybe I'll do a stream again in a couple days so we can get the Naga finished. And yeah, I'll catch you guys in a bit. Thanks for tuning in. Later.